Hello, what's up guys? Your guy Promzy once again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're talking about frequently asked questions during your Schengen Visa interview. If you're ready for this video, stay tuned. Welcome back guys to my channel. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the community. So in previous video, I spoke about how to apply for your Schengen visa and most mistakes applicants make that can lead to the refusal of their visa. In this video, we are talking about frequently asked questions during the interview, and these questions mostly apply to people who are visiting relatives in the Schengen states or people who are coming to tour the country. So without wasting much time, let's just dive straight into it. So the first question we're going to talk about is the purpose of travel. This question is most likely to pop up during any Schengen visa interview because they want to know the purpose of travel. Are you coming to visit a relative? Are you coming to tour the country? Are you on a business trip? Are you coming for medical care? Or whatever the purpose is, I think it should be clear and you should be able to convey this message to the person who's interviewing you. I don't think the purpose of travel should be a reason or should be a question that will pop up for you to fumble and wouldn't be able to answer. You should know the reason why you're coming to this country or that particular country. So one other question that comes up as a follow-up question to the purpose of travel is why the particular country? Why have you decided to come to Germany, France, Poland, or these Schengen states instead of going to other African countries or America, Canada, or Dubai? So one way someone can easily answer this question is when the person is going to visit a relative. If your family member is based in France and you've gotten an invite to come and visit. So the purpose of visit is not really to tour the country, just to visit your relatives. So you are going to France not because, of course, France is a nice place, but not because France per se, but because you are going to visit your uncle. So that can be a very strong answer to this question. So the next question is, who are you visiting? So for people who are coming to the Schengen state to visit a relative, you should have some basic information about the particular person you are visiting. So if I'm visiting your uncle, his name, whether he has a family here, probably the wife's name, the number of kids, where he works, the city in which he's based in, some basic information about the person you are coming to visit might pop up. If you don't know, it's not a big deal, like where he works. If you don't know, probably that's a little bit detailed, but whether or not your relative is married and the number of kids he has, the city in which he's based in which you are going to, these are basic information you should know and you should prepare for before you go for the interview. So one of the most important questions during your interview is your tie to your country of residence. I said this in the video, mistakes people do and why people are being rejected, that if you don't have strong ties back home or from your country of residence, it's very difficult for them to give you a Schengen visa because you don't have any reason to come back to your country. So are you working? Are you a student? If you're a student, follow-up questions will come. Which semester are you in? Which year are you in? Are you in your second year? Have you graduated? Are you working? Are you on a work leave? Are you married? These are things that hold you back to your country, and if you don't have anything holding you back, or if you're unable to answer this particular question, the probability of your visa to be refused is very high. Because if you're not married, or if you don't have a family back home, if you're not working, you're not a student, and you're just hustling and you've gotten an invite to come to France, there's 90% chance that you wouldn't turn back to your country of residence because you've come to, quote and unquote, a developed country and things are better off here. So why should they give you a visa if you have nothing holding you back to your country? For instance, the first time I came to Germany was for a visit, and when I was coming, I was a student back home. So I was in my final year first semester, and There was no way I could forgo my education, my higher education in Ghana and come and stay in Germany illegally. So this is something that holds you back to your country. You wouldn't. They don't want people to come to their country and be illegal immigrants or stay in the country illegally because they don't have anything back home pulling them back. So you should either be in school, you should be educated, you should have a business, you should have something holding you back home. And this particular question, if you're unable to answer, is a red flag. So one other question that comes off as a very tricky question is family members in the Schengen states. Fine, if you are coming to visit a family member, you can't say that you don't have any family member here. Of course, you are coming to visit your uncle. So if you are saying you don't have any family member here, then how come you are saying the man inviting you is your uncle? Don't show up during the interview and list everyone you know during the interview. I have an uncle in France, I have one in Switzerland, my auntie is based in Germany, my 2 friends are in Poland, I have 2 brothers in Netherlands, I have other 2 in Belgium. Then there's high chance that probably if you come back, you'll be too comfortable in Europe that you might not even come back home. If you are coming to visit a family member, you should mention their name, especially if they are close relative, like a mom, dad, a sibling, close sibling. Other than that, other cousins and people who are a little bit far from your nuclear family should be ignored. Because if you send a message across that Europe is like your second home, then coming for the visit might lead to probably extension of a visa and staying here for a long time. And that shouldn't be the case during the interview. I hope you're enjoying the video you are watching, and if you like the content, you can support my channel by hitting the subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up. Let's get back to it. One other question they are likely to ask is whether or not you are traveling alone or you are traveling with a group of people. This question is mostly directed to people who apply to come to the Schengen state for conferences or meetings and those stuff. If you are not traveling alone, if you are traveling with a group of people, you should have some basic information about these people, not everything, but if it's a business trip, the number of people in the group and certain information will be asked, as in follow-up questions will be asked. So if you are in a group, don't lie. I don't know why you will lie if you are traveling in a group. If you are not, I don't know why you will tell them you are traveling in a group if you are not traveling in a group. So, but this question is usually targeted to people who are coming for conferences and meetings in the Schengen states. One other important question is travel history. Have you been to any country before, or have you been to any other Schengen state before? If you've been to any Schengen state and this question pops up, there's no reason to lie. If you've attempted to come to any Schengen state and you were refused visa, you shouldn't lie. You should tell them, and definitely there will be follow-up questions like, if you've been here before, what was the reason for coming? How long did you stay? Which countries did you go? And everything. If they refuse you, they can ask you what was the reason for your refusal, which embassy did you apply to, and why didn't you apply to that embassy but you're applying to a different embassy. Follow-up questions will come, so you should prepare if you've been to a Schengen state before, or if you've applied and they've refused your visa before. If you haven't and that's your first time traveling, there's no need to lie, because this information are in their database and they can retrieve it. So if you're first time traveling outside the country, tell them it's your first time traveling outside the country. The sponsor of your trip. Who is going to sponsor the trip? Definitely living outside Africa, as living in the Schengen states in Europe, is very expensive compared to lifestyle back home. So who is responsible for your trip? Maybe for the 2 weeks you said you're coming to spend in France or Belgium or Germany. Who is going to pay for it? Is it self-sponsored? Are you sponsoring yourself? Is it sponsored by someone? Is the person who is inviting you going to take care of the whole cost? And if yes, there should be document to prove it. You can't just say yes, so and so is willing to sponsor me without any document. If you are sponsoring yourself, you should have enough funds in your bank account to prove that you can stay in Germany or tour in 5 countries in the Schengen state without any financial problem. So bear in mind the CD Euro rate or Naira Euro rate, depending on wherever you are watching this video from. If you want to tour the Schengen state and you have like 7,000 cedis in your account, probably that might be okay to stay in Ghana for a month or 2, but to be in Europe 3 weeks, 7,000 cedis would not be enough. So you should bear in mind the conversion, and the amount of money in your account should be the equivalent that you should be able to spend in Europe. Currently, I don't think there's a limit or there's a set amount of money that should be in your account, but you should know that lifestyle in Europe is expensive, so the amount of money in your account should be enough. Don't let the finance be the reason why your visa will be refused. So the last point I'll talk about is questions that will pop up because you filled them on your form. Before you go for the interview, you have to fill application form, and information on the form should tally with the information you give to the person interviewing you. For example, if they ask on the form whether you are married or not, and you tick that you are married, and you probably put your wife's name there, and during the interview they ask you, are you married or you're not married, and you said you're not married, you are contradicting yourself, so they might think you are lying. So whatever information you put on the form should be the truth, so that during the interview, if they ask you, though, you don't have to lie, you have to tell the truth. I know going for interview for visa to developed countries can be sometimes stressful, but if you are prepared enough for the interview and your documents are genuine and everything is original, I don't see any reason why an embassy will refuse you visa if you qualify or if you meet all the requirements. So prepare enough and relax. I wish you all the best in your visa application process. So if you've come to the end of this video, if you like this video, don't forget to share, subscribe, and put a nice comment in the comment section below. Like always, the name is Promzy and I'm signing out. Peace.